Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. My name is Niku, and we're going to trade a bit today. So, before we get started, guys, just a reminder you guys can, I've got a live stream today on Pocket Options YouTube channel. This is set for 1300 hours UTC plus 2 time. You guys can find their channel there. Just do a search in YouTube for @PocketOption. I will also leave a link to the live stream in the description below the video. You guys can catch me there. It's going to be live. Oh, there's the time. There's the date. It's We're going to be doing some live trading, but we're also going to be discussing some topics. The topic of today's video is going to be how to put together your own trading strategy, things to look for, mistakes to avoid, etc. There will also be a promo code during the video. You'll only be able to find that during the course of the video on the live stream. It's going to be a 70% deposit bonus. It's a very good promo. So yeah, I hope I see you guys there, and yeah, that's it. So let's get rid of those and let's get to trading. Okay, so those of you watching this video for the first time, let me just quickly recap what I've got on my charts here. Excuse me, I've got three moving averages. These are 50, 100, and 200 simple moving averages. And I've also got the ADX, the stochastic, and the RSI. These are all set to default values. I don't change them. They're good enough as it is. Right, so I'm going to get rid of those. We're going to be using three strategies. My three core strategies that I use for option trading. These strategies can also be applied on any time frame. So even though I'm using 10 seconds, if I'm doing 1 minute expiries, I like to watch 10-second charts. But if you want to watch a 1 minute chart and do 5 minute expiries, or even watch a 5 minute chart and do 1 hour expiries, either way, this can also be applied to Forex trading. So these strategies work on any time frame, and I do use them in my Forex trading as well. So what are those three strategies? We're going to be using divergence. We're going to be looking for all four kinds of divergence. It's going to be the two hidden ones and two normal ones, or regular divergence. If you guys don't understand divergence that well, I suggest you go to a site like Baby Pips or Investopedia. Just do a search for divergence. They've got great explanations and great examples. I'm not going to explain how divergence works. I'll just explain when I do take a trade. I'll explain why I'm taking that trade and what I'm looking at. The second strategy we're going to use are what we call hollow moves. Those involve the ADX, and I'm going to be looking for very sharp DI spikes with a low ADX value. Those of you using or if you're familiar with the ADX, you will know that the yellow line here is the ADX. It shows us the strength of a trend and not the direction. It shows the strength of a trend. So while the ADX is very low, any sharp movements do have a chance to reverse, but we're also going to look for those happening on or very close to one of the moving averages. These moving averages serve as dynamic support and resistance levels, so we're going to be looking for sharp moves on those. Lastly, the third strategy I'm going to be using is my RSI strategy. This strategy involves areas where the trend, where price is trending in a strongly in one direction. Like this, we had a strong upward movement here. We can see our ADX climbing, making new highs the whole time, which indicates strength of the movement, a high strength. And we're going to be looking for bounces or rejections of the RSI 50 line. So for example, we had price coming up here and come back right on that line there. My RSI came back, didn't break the 50 line. Instead it rejected, and that was a buy trade for me, and we had the same happening here. Okay, so these need to be close on or very close to the moving averages before I will consider taking them. Sometimes you get them Where is a bad example? We had a, so let me just switch this auto scroll off. Where was that now? We had some examples here as well, where price started moving strongly, ADX started climbing a lot, which indicated strength behind the movement, and it came back. It flirted with the 50 line there, got rejected, and we had the same thing happening here, and there was but 2 call opportunities there. Right, so this is the strategy I'm going to be using. Obviously for downwards, let's find a downward trend. This was overnight trading. Before any of the exchanges was open, so the market is what you call it, very choppy. I don't trade this time of day, but this was like 3 hours, 2-3 hours before the UK open, but it will serve as an example for sell trades. We had a strong move here, it pushed back, flirted with the middle line just below the moving average there, and that would then be a sell opportunity. Okay, so we're going to be looking for charts, for entries using those 3 strategies. I will in future cover different strategies, but for the first few weeks of this new series that I'm doing, I'm going to continue using the same 3 strategies every day. The reason for this is that I want you guys to see over a period of time that some days we're going to have really good trades, a lot of entries. Some days we're not going to get a lot of entries. So those are days that we need to watch out for. We've had a pretty good week so far. Yesterday, Thursday, was very slow. Didn't get a lot of entries. My video was almost an hour, and we had one decent setup that we could take. But the previous Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we were doing like a trade, almost basically a trade every 10 minutes or so. Right, so there are days that market's going to be slow for your strategy, and we're not going to start tweaking our strategy if this happens. We're not going to be looking for new stuff and think our strategies just stop working. They didn't. They work. Well, they are tested. They've stood the test of time. These strategies work. We just need to be patient and have the discipline to stick to our strategies. Right, so that being said, we're going to look for some entries. While we wait, also, guys, if you have any questions, leave a comment. Every day before I do the video, I read the last 2 videos as comments. And if there's any questions, I'll answer them in the next video. So yeah, leave a comment if you want to get notified on when I post a new video. Hit the subscribe button and the notification, and you'll be notified by YouTube when each time I release a video. I'm doing a daily session. It's usually an hour or so into the UK session. I'm going to do a daily video, but I'm also going to be doing additional videos occasionally, 1 or 2 a week maybe, where I discuss some different things. I'm going to be doing a few videos on OTC trading, because a lot of people, for a lot of people, that's the only time they've got to actually trade is when late evenings, so the US market is closed and most brokers only offer OTC charts. So we're going to look at a few strategies there as well, but it's going to be totally separate from the daily series. The daily video is going to be just what we're doing here. It's going to be trading for about an hour and looking for entries using those 3 strategies I explained, nothing else, and that's it. Okay, so let's hope we get some entries. We don't have any data out. Next data is only 30 minutes into the US session, which will not affect this trading session of ours at all. So without, well, yeah, let's see if we can find some trades. So we had a price movement up, and it was really strong. The ADX kept climbing. Right now, it seems to be dropping a bit. We had some downwards movement. ADX did climb a bit, showing us strength in the downward move, but this is basically flat. So if those of you wondering why I didn't take the trade when the RSI hit the middle line here, it was below the moving average. The reason will be that this is not a strong trend at the moment. This area is basically flat, and we had two flat areas. Actually, you know what? Let's draw them in. Thicker, we make them. There we go. Okay, so we had price moving between these two areas. Okay, so that's actually this will be better, and then we also have it now just ranging in this area here. Okay, so this is not a trend, this is sideways movement at the moment. And like I said earlier, we're only going to use the RSI strategy if the market is actually strongly trending in a certain direction, either up or down. Then we're going to be looking for trades. If in this case, this is clearly not a strong trend, so I will not be looking for entries using the RSI, the RSI indicator or strategy. Before, I actually almost forgot. I'm going to leave a link to the video to this afternoon's stream. The video is already up. Obviously, it's not running, but I'll leave a link to that. But I'll also leave a link to Pocket Options website if you guys want to give them a shot, and maybe make use of that promo code that that's going to be available this afternoon. You can just follow that, open it, register there on the site and open a demo account. It's actually quick and easy. So yeah, I'll also leave a link to that in the description. And I really hope I see some of you guys there this afternoon. It would be nice to know, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a very good topic. The stuff I've prepared is very important, and it's stuff that a lot of people don't know they should think about, or simply don't think it's important enough. So yeah, I really hope to see you guys there. This might have been worth taking a trade here, but what it's currently forming valid hidden bullish divergence. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for this to finish forming, and this should be, oh, that move was too quick. It should be going up for a bit. Should actually go retest there, right? Nah. It's a pity about this candle. I was really hoping to get a buy in here. Right, so I missed that entry. It happens, especially when I'm talking a lot. But this would have been a good trade if you could have gotten in here. This would have been a good trade. So it would have been a 1 minute expiry. So 6 candles later, if you bought here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next candle will show whether this would have lost or won. But so far, it's looking really good. This is a very, very nice hidden bullish divergence trade. It would have been a very good trade. Definitely would have been ITM there. But I missed them. No use crying over spilled milk. You will notice though that because I missed my entry on a fairly biggish candle. There was some sharp movement, so I couldn't get in where I wanted to. I would much rather leave the trade, even though if I did take it there, in this case, it would have won. But I would much rather just skip and not take it than taking a trade that I'm not comfortable with. This move was too big to my liking. And okay, so we might actually get another trade here. So prices started moving upwards. We can see this keeps making higher lows, higher highs. So we are in an upwards trend, continuation from this trend, and we might get a trade here. I'm going to take a buy. Reason being, I've got price coming, my RSI coming down to the middle line, and it is right on the 100 moving average, and also just above the 50 moving average. So there's a high probability that this trade will be a good trade. Also, guys, notice that two things I want you guys to notice and keep an eye on when I'm trading, when I'm taking trades. First off, when I took the trade, the execution was instant. 0 delays on this platform, which I absolutely love. And also, my expiry time, I've got mine set to 1 minute at the moment, and it's 1 minute from the time I take my trade. So we will see that there will be 6 candles, because this is a 10-second chart, and 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 6 candles will give me a win or a lose. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will close there. 6, because I took it early. Okay, so good trade. It's a great start for the morning, and it was because of the RSI strategy. Waited for it, took it because my strategy told me that I can enter, and yeah, this is how we get rewarded for patience and for having the discipline to stick to our strategies. It's so important. I'm gonna say this again. Probably gonna say this every video. A lot of people think that if they haven't taken a trade for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, they're doing something wrong, and this is not the case at all. Sometimes like I explained earlier, this is the reason I'm gonna use these 3 strategies for the next few weeks. Every day, the same thing, so you guys can get an idea of how often we have good days, how often we have bad days. I will not take the same amount of trades every day. The market doesn't allow me to do that. Some days it'll give me a lot of entries, some days it won't. So a lot of people feel that if they're not doing something, if they're not taking trades, they're doing something wrong, and it's the worst way of thinking you can have. You need to have patience. You need to have your trade your strategy, and it will reward you. But you need the patience. You need to wait. You need to have the discipline. Okay, so let's see if we get another trade. We're 18 minutes into the into the video. This trade was, although it was just above the RSI, or the RSI was just above the middle line, it's kind of too far for me from the moving average, and I had my RSI slowing down, so the telling me that the strength of this upward move is weakening. So I'm not going to risk taking a trade, because the conditions, again, the condition for the RSI, for entries on the RSI strategy, is we need to be in a strong trending market. Okay, so this trade here I took because we had this ADX coming up strong. It is a bullish movement, and there's a lot of strength behind the move, but it's been slowing. So I'm not going to look for entries at this, for buy entries at the moment using the RSI. Okay, so it does seem that the market is rejecting a bit from this area. We can move that down just a wee bit. So it is effectively ranging at the moment, and again, we just have to be kind of patient now and just wait for one of our entry strategies to give us an entry. Looks like we are um, starting to continue the upwards move. We've got a new high, broke through this area where it was struggling with, and there we go. Right, so trend is definitely confirmed. We're going to see the ADX starting to climb now. And I'm going to be, I can now start looking for some entries. This is the kind of movement that we like. The smoother the market is flowing, the higher the probability of winning trades with our entries. Okay, so sharp move upwards. We know that in any move there will be retraces. So hopefully we can start looking for spots to enter. I can see now that this retrace here, this was a retrace from the upwards move. This retrace, excuse me, didn't make a really low, much of a low on the stochastic. It turned up again very quickly. So this last low is quite high. If price keeps pushing, and this is something that's likely to happen, but not will. I'm not. You can never predict, but this is a scenario that's likely going to play out because it usually does. We're going to have another push and then another retrace. The next retrace we have should see the stochastic hit around this area here. Okay, so it should come down, even maybe all the way, but it should at least come down. Now, if this happens and the retrace doesn't break this low here, that's going to be hidden bullish divergence, which is a continuation signal, which will give me a valid entry to take a buy trade. This is a scenario that might happen, and I do try to spot them before they happen. I know from the more you do this, you'll gain experience to know what scenarios might play out in certain, when there's certain kinds of movement. Doesn't mean it will, but it gives me time to be aware that there is a possible trade coming up and that I don't get caught off guard or maybe miss it because I was looking at something else. I know I need to pay very good attention now, and I could have a possible trade coming up. So we did the retrace, but the stochastic didn't do quite what I expected. This happens often. And like I said, it's not a commitment to a trade, but it's at least I know that I need to watch out for something, so that if it does happen, I'm ready to take my trade and I don't miss it. But obviously, in this case, it didn't play out. But again, it still could do the same thing. We could see a push upwards again, a new high, and then a retrace, and where that does happen. And if it does, we will be ready. But it doesn't look like it's gonna. So at the moment, it looks like it's gonna come back. We have strong upwards movement. So that makes me also, we have strong, the strength of the upwards movement is quite high. That gives me the confidence I need to look for buy trades at the moment. If price doesn't drop here, if it starts pushing up and the stochastic closes, this might actually be worth taking. Okay, so it dropped. So it's almost formed some hidden bullish divergence there, but it didn't. So I'm not going to be taking the trade. We've got the RSI hitting the middle line here, but it's not on or close to one of the moving averages here, so I'm not going to take it. And also we have the trend slowing down a lot. My DI minus is coming up, although it's turning down again. But I'm not going to take unnecessary risks. The conditions for my for taking a trade on my strategy has not been fulfilled, so I'm not taking a trade. It's that simple. Once the conditions are fulfilled, I'll take the trade. I do not doubt my strategies, but I have to wait for the conditions to be met. The rules are there for a reason, and the minute I start breaking those rules, I will start losing money. We have some, we have some decent payouts across the board today. It's brilliant. And this is one of the dangers of trading. So I had, the conditions wasn't perfectly met for me to take a trade here. But now the market's showing me that if I did take that trade, I could have taken a buy anywhere here and would have won. Does this mean now that next time I'm going to say, okay, but the previous time it was this close, maybe I should take it? Absolutely not. If it's not within the rules of my trading strategy, if the conditions for an entry is not met, there will be no trade. And that's it. There's no arguing, there's no thinking. The second you start to think you've got the hang of this and you can now start to predict movement, the market will show you that you're wrong and that you're horribly wrong. Right, so we're going to wait. Decent setups. It's always worth waiting. And yeah, we're going to stick to our strategy. That's it. So you might get a trade here now. We still got the, although the ADX is slowing down, the candle movement is quite slow. So there's, it's slowing down a lot though. We are again heading for this area here, but again, if the ADX was strong here, we're getting closer to the moving average. So if my ADX was a bit stronger here, I would have felt more comfortable taking a buy there. I am not going to though. Because again, as we said, the conditions for taking trades, a strong direction, a strong trend in either direction, up or down. And this is not a strong trend at the moment. So that's why I'm staying out of this. We're not getting a lot of divergence. We're not getting DI spikes. Might get one here. Okay, so what I would like to see here is price come down to this area here. We're gonna, if this does happen, we're gonna have a very nice DI spike, and I could take risk a trade. Okay, so I'm going to take a buy there. Very high DI spike. It was what you call it, just over 50 there. ADX is still low, it's only 25, and the DI spike happened on a moving average there. Of course, this could be a losing trade. Those happen, but I'm sticking to my strategy. I did get in a bit later, but I'm sticking to my strategy. The conditions were met for the ADX strat, and so I took the trade. Let's see what happens. Got a few seconds left. Good trade. Okay. So that was because of the DI spike. The DI spike was on a moving average. It started turning down, and the conditions for an entry on this ADX strategy was met, and we were rewarded for waiting for it. So again, patience and discipline will get you far. Now we're going to see if we can get another strategy. It's actually not a bad day. I missed one trade, took two now, and we're 30 minutes in. So we are running a trade every 10 minutes about. So for me, it's totally worth it to trade more slowly. I see a lot of people try to take a trade every 1 or 2 minutes or so. I have not seen a single sustainable strategy in all my years of trading that will allow you to take a trade every 1 or 2 minutes. Never have. On a 10-second chart, one every 10 minutes is about as good as it gets. If you're looking at one every 10 minutes, that's 60 candles. That's a 60 candle period on a 10-second chart. So yeah, that's some decent movement. That's about, where are we now? Let's draw this in. Horizontal, a vertical line. So we're on 33, so we're looking for 23, 30. Okay, so getting a trade in this much worth of movement, very possible. Compared to finding a trade in this much worth of movement, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So take your time. And just be patient. And this applies to whatever strategy you're using, right? I mean, I've got my favorite strategies that I use. I know them. I've been using them for a long time. But even if you're using something else, the same rules apply. You need to be patient. You need to wait for your strategy to give you an entry. What's more important, but a lot of people don't have, is actually a clearly defined strategy. So yeah, it's definitely, I know I say this a lot, but it's so important to have the patience and the discipline to wait. That's what trading is about. I cannot sit down at the same time every day for an hour and expect to do the same amount of trades or expect to do the same amount of make the same amount of money. It doesn't happen. It never will. Yet people expect that, and it will never happen. You will have some days where you'll sit down. Let's say you take an hour. So my videos is these videos, these daily sessions are about an hour long. We'll get, if I don't talk too much in the beginning and we like really pay attention and we take all the trades, most of the time we'll get an entry every 10 minutes. Most of the time. Not always. Well, not even most. A lot of the time, I would say. Well, most of the time is a lot of the time. Anyway, but like this week was a beautiful example. We had, we were running an entry every 10 minutes until Thursday. Thursday, the video I made Thursday was almost an hour. We had 2 trades. So that was one every 30 minutes then. The average was 31 every 30 minutes for yesterday. And yesterday was a slow day. This didn't change until the afternoon. So if your strategy is performing poorly, or if you're trying out these strategies and they are not doing well, you're not getting a lot of entries, do something else. Go make lunch, go have some coffee, phone a friend, play a game, whatever. If you don't have the discipline to sit and wait for the entries, if the market is that slow for that day, just don't trade and do something else. Come back later, see if the conditions have changed. If they have, great. If they haven't, come back later again. There are a lot of times I sit through these. If the market is slow, like yesterday, for the sake of the videos, I will sit through the whole session because I think it's important that you guys see that sometimes it's really slow. But for my normal trading, if I'm doing this, if I'm not making video, I just close my charts and I go do something else for next 2 or 3 hours. And I don't even think about it because it really frustrates me to get one entry an hour or every 30 minutes. It's frustrating for me. I can't sit that long, and I can't sit and wait that long for one entry. So if the market is really slow, I just go do something else. Okay, so there's no trade we're going to get you. We are very, very high from the, very far away from the moving averages at the moment. So unless we get a massive DI spike here, a massive push downwards here with a decent DI spike, which I doubt will happen, we're not going to get any entries. It doesn't quite matter how low the stochastic goes here. We have the stochastic there on like 4 or 5%. So that it's not going to form divergence at all. Even if it comes all the way down, if this area wasn't, if the stochastic was maybe that level there, I could have been looking for a divergence trade, but there is no divergence that's going to set up right now. So yeah, we are waiting for a bit. We're 40 minutes in, almost 40 minutes in. I might have to cut this video short. I heard lawnmowers, and if it's garden services, they're going to be coming by this window quite soon. But it's quiet again. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll push for an hour. Okay, so we are in a very decent upwards movement here. But the fact that the RSI already came down and it's just like drawing on this line here will mean no trade for this strategy. Right, because this can basically go either way. Technically, we are on a downwards trend or downwards move because we're getting lower highs and we're getting lower lows. So looking for a buy here, ADX is coming down quite a bit as well. So this will not be a trade for me. If price just came down a little bit more, we could have maybe had some bullish divergence just above the 50 EMA or SMA, and that might have been worth taking. It did not though. Good still. Let's see what happens. So my stochastic, you can't see it that well. Stochastic isn't crossing, isn't turning. So this is probably going to void. Yeah. So my DI plus and DI minus are flatlining on top of each other. ADX is coming down strong, so this tells me that there's, I guess you can say, indecision in the market for a bit. So when there's indecision like that, and you can't really tell which direction it's going, it's definitely no trading. Okay, so why didn't I take this? Why am I not taking this trade here? We have a DI spike and we have a low ADX. Reason being, we went from a period of indecisiveness here and just a sudden drop broke through. So it's actually likely that it will continue. Although we do have a support area here, I should have actually paid attention to this. It was right on this level. Sometimes you get so caught up in watching the current price that you forget about the price history, or just forget to look at a bigger picture. This was silly to have missed. This would have been a good trade, actually. This would actually have been a good trade. Because the support line, the support area from here is basically it's basically the same as the 100 moving average. This would have been a very good trade, actually. It happens. I miss some trades sometimes. It happens. Right, so now we're going to look. If price doesn't push past here and the stochastic turns down, we do have hidden bearish divergence. Although it's faint, but it's still a good sign that it's stopping at the 50 moving average. But I do need my stochastic to confirm for me. Because quite often what will happen is your stochastic like this it'll push down just a little bit like this, and next moment you'll see a massive green candle, and this looks good. I'm going to take a trade here. Take a sell. Let's see what happens. This is valid valid hidden divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation. So this is hidden bullish, and that tells me that it's a continuation of the downwards move. There's a good chance that this will take place. And since the conditions for the trade is met, we're going to take it. Let's make it that. Let's make it nice and thick. Okay, so where do we measure the hidden bullish? It's from this area here. Clearly, if I draw a line on the highs here, this price isn't moving. This sucks. Four seconds left. I'm going to lose this one. I don't know why price is stalling like this. Anyway, so we had this is coming down, but if I draw the same line on the highs of the stochastic, it will clearly show me a upwards movement, and that's technically that's convergence, but still divergence, convergence, we speak of one thing. There's the drop. I hate when this happens, but it does happen. Nothing I can do about it. We just wait for the next entry. Okay, so definitely now there's a lot of indecision here. The price isn't moving at all. So I'm definitely going to be waiting a minute or two before I even start looking for entities. Um, this is horrible movement, really, really horrible. Um, it's such a pity that it hit me right on the divergence here. But this, I'll never even attempt to read this. There's no data, there's no movement, so there's nothing I can take into consideration. That's not movement at all. This is what we're looking for. Flow like this, but this, we'll give it a few minutes and we'll see what happens. I do suspect we're going to see price coming down through this area now. Could be wrong, but I think that's going to happen. I really do think we're going to see a break here. So let's have a look while we're waiting for price to decide what it wants to do. What's the difference between this trade and this area? We had both of them had DI spikes. Both of them had a low ADX. Both of them basically look the same. But a big difference is that this is halfway between the 100 and the 200 moving average, whereas this was basically on the 200 on the 100 moving average here. Right, so this was a trade because I missed the fact that this was so close to the support and moving average across here, but this, no trade for me. Like I said in the beginning, ADX spikes needs to be on or very close to one of the moving averages. So this is not a trade for me because this could have just as likely kept going. We are in a downwards move though, and the conditions are met for my RSI strat. So we're gonna, but all these flat candles are making me jittery. We're gonna take a sell. We're gonna listen to our strategy, follow the strat, and see what happens. It's just below the two moving averages. My moving averages are crossing here. Let me get rid of this line because this is messing with me. Halfway through the trade, let's see what happens. Five seconds left. That was way too close for comfort. But close is still a win. Okay, so let's see. How far along are we? We're on 50 minutes. I think this might be a good time to cut the video for today. I do have a little bit of preparation work left. It's 2 hours before the stream for on Pocket Options channel. I've got 2 hours left, so I would like to just go over everything again. But yeah, guys, I hope this helped. What you call it? Yeah, I'm drawing an absolute blank now. But it's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, remember, if you want to get notified, hit the subscribe button and then the notification. You'll get a notification every time I do a new video. And I really hope to see some of you, or all of you, for that matter, on Pocket Options YouTube channel today. Um, I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a good one. So that's it for the week. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll see you guys on the weekend. Who knows? Not me. Have a great weekend. Try it safe. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Cheers.